Quiz, a 3-part drama centering around man Charles Ingram, who allegedly went on television's show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and cheated. This, of course, resulted in an absolute mass media frenzy at the time and a court case centering around the incident. The drama begins showing how the show got to its level of fame that it is today, and shows the beginnings of how Charles became interested in the show, or his reluctance, in fact, in the beginning, where his wife displayed more interest than he did, and showing this whole world that was happening around the programme, where there was this seemingly middle-class frenzy going on, an obsession, to the point where there was this underground system built so that people could get on the show easier. Chris Tarrant is, of course, played by Michael Sheen, who does really, really well in the role. He, I believe he is the highlight of the series. He certainly embodies him. He gets all the characteristics. It's a nigh on perfect recreation of him. A lot of the drama comes around in episode 2, where it shows Charles Ingram. He gets onto the programme, and it does basically a full recreation of what happened. Then shows the immediate aftermath and kind of what was going on behind the camera, showing the executives discovering that something is amiss. A young guy that is in control of the sound discovers that there is an unusual amount of coughing going on, which is, of course, highly suspect. Every time he gets to a question and it looks like he's going to do terrible, it looks like he doesn't know the answer, he goes through the system, he asks the questions, he goes, could it be this? But it could be this, or it could be this. And then, whichever one is the right answer, there is a miraculous cough. They quickly find this out shortly after he takes the £1 million. And then things really take a bit of a turn. It shows this whole media frenzy that happened around the time. Obviously something was leaked, because it was a very quick process. And there was this kind of national hatred towards him for having allegedly cheated. I mean, at this period of time, it wasn't even convicted. There was a whole case, and that case is in fact still going on today. They are apparently setting up an appeal. The drama itself really shows that kind of that conflict. It shows the obsession that his wife has with attaining success on this program. She gets on the program herself. And they have this system to where people who probably shouldn't be on there, relatives, they also get on. The biggest complaint currently, even the real life Chris Tarrant himself has said, that the short series depicts Ingram in a kind of it shows a sympathetic angle on him, and it doesn't definitively say he cheated. I think it kind of lets the audience make their own mind up whether he did or not, and it's clever writing because it's going to make people talk about it. We're talking about it now, but I feel that there was a lack of balance. I think, you have the build-up with the first 2 episodes. You see how the show is coming together. You see how he gets onto the programme. And then the episode 3 is the court case. And at that point, I was expecting a turn. I was expecting a moment where things take a shift. Because up to that point, it's very sympathetic towards him. It's it makes you feel sorry for him. It makes you feel like he is a guy that has got caught up in this situation that he didn't really ask to be in, and now he's universally hated by everybody. And I was waiting for that pendulum shift. I was waiting for the moment where maybe they definitively discover something which shows he's definitely guilty, or a moment where it at least gives an argument from the other side. It at least shows a solid argument. I mean, they have the point where they bring up the tape, which is available to see on the internet now, and but then they say, oh, but the tape's been enhanced and kind of meddled with, so there was never really kind of an opposing view, so it creates this kind of feeling a bit, it feels a bit lopsided. It feels a bit like they are trying to kind of defend Ingram a bit, and it's difficult because it's still something that, can you ever definitively prove that he cheated or not? You can look at that tape, and to me the tape personally has moments in which he's clearly up to something, he's clearly doing something, but on the flip side, he's an army major. Why would he gamble his career? Why would he want to do that? So it does create that kind of conflict, but I just feel that there was a bit of a lack of balance, and I think in the end you come out kind of feeling sorry for him. I've already seen people that are starting to now question whether he did actually cheat. Some people are coming out saying he didn't, based on a drama that at the start of the drama says some things have been changed. So it makes you wonder kind of what had been changed and what was left out. Chris Tarrant says that largely in the courtroom in episode 3, the other side of the case was kind of missed out. It was very defendant centric. It's a very strange scenario. It makes for a compelling drama nonetheless, despite some of its flaws. And as I say, I think Michael Sheen is particularly good as Chris Tarrant. I think that's undeniable. He's a fantastic actor. But I think on the whole, it, despite its flaws, it's still very entertaining. And I think, considering the climate that we're in right now, it's certainly worth having a watch and seeing what you think. And I certainly think it's worth. I mean, what I did personally was I watched all 3 back to back, kind of like a film, because it's not particularly long. And then I watched the original tape when he went on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then I made my own conclusions based on all of that. But I feel if people just watch that drama, they could come away being quite sympathetic towards him, and it's difficult. It is difficult. It's not as cut and dry maybe as what people think it is. But on the whole, I would say the drama is worth a watch, and I would say out of 10, I would give it a good solid 7 out of 10. I think it's entertaining. I think it offers something a bit different. I think it's certainly the best thing ITV have done in a long time. It's very rare that I'll watch something that they do these days, and I think it'd be great if they could do more like this, more dramas like this. It's interesting, picking these kind of things that are quite unusual would be a good way for them to go in the future. Next time I'll be reviewing Jonah Hill's directorial debut, which I only saw recently, Mid-90s, a film that is quite polarising. Some people hate it, some people love it. So tune in to see what I think. So see you next time.